Hello everybody, welcome once again back to the channel. We are once again in the car, which means we have seen yet another new movie because it's 12:50 in the morning. We're going to go ahead, we're going to try to do this very quickly. The new film that we saw tonight was the most expensive movie Universal has ever made. The musical epic event of the year, coming out in November for some reason. Wicked, Part 1. I'm joined of course by my esteemed co-host, DJ. DJ, what do you give this film on a scale of 1 to 10?
You're right, 10.
10?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go with what you did before, 9.5. Just because I don't think that this is a perfect film. However, cinematography is spectacular. The singing is absolutely amazing. The casting is done very well. Costuming is great. Choreography is great. A lot of this movie is just great. I think that I'm kind of reserved on giving it a 10 just because I haven't personally seen Wicked the musical. But for a musical film, I was engaged. I found it very interesting. Everything was done very, very well. And the thing I have to say is that as far as a movie adaptation of a stage play, they did it right because they pay homage to the actual stage play, but they actually take advantage of the fact that, hey, this is a movie, we have a moving camera, we can make bigger sets, we can be more elaborate, we can do costume changes to show passage of time and things like that, which just emphasizes all the musical numbers and all the different scenes going on at the same time. So it's a movie that plays very, very well into what it is. Also, I just love the campy / nostalgic thing that they do from beginning to end with the title cards, the Universal logo. And
that was really cool. The throwbacks to the original film.
And that's all of my thoughts. How about you, DJ?
I'm usually a little harsher on the two-parters. Several others I gave 9.25 out of 5. We talked about this beforehand. I was thinking 9.5. However, one of the things that kind of saves this from suffering from the two-part thing from a lot of films, one is a lot clearer ahead of time what it was than some other ones, but the big thing is the play that's based off is majorly set in 2 acts because it's split very cleanly on a plot line that requires that split. So doing it in 2 films actually works really well. Doing it in 1 film with an intermission would be like the only way to do that, and might as well just go play at that point. This is do a theatrical release.
It's far too long, even with an intermission. Yeah. It would be longer than Killers of the Flower Moon. Even with the mercy of an intermission, it would still be far too long.
Yeah, it's just shy of 3 hours long. This is like the Avengers films, right? It makes sense to split the film. And I will say some of these other films, it makes sense to split them too. But this one ends right where it needs to.
Yep. Right at the end of Act 1.
My main issue with the Mission Impossible one and Into the Spider-Verse is that it ends in a way where this wraps up the plot to get ready for the next stage of the plot. Yep. All those films end on a horrible cliffhanger with no resolution of anything. That suffers the movie. I gave this one a 10 because it does not do that. It ends on a clean chop.
Yep. So
that, just to clarify where that came from, the 10. But I agree with you on everything else. Cinematography, the acting is amazing. The cast is good, and oh my goodness, just the little subtle nuances and Easter eggs, not just from the play and the book. They have things that source the book specifically, the play specifically, and the original film that Universal did based off the original Oz books, as well as some. They literally managed to keep really clean to the plot of the musical while giving great homage to every other iteration of this that's ever been done. There were little trinkets in the background, Easter eggs and stuff that were not present from the play that were from the original book series, the film adaptation of the book series, and so on and so forth. That just great little stuff. I'm a little bit of a Wizard of Oz nerd. I really like that series, the original series, and a lot of the adaptations that have been made of it, and Wicked isn't even the only one. There's been tons of like reimaginings and adaptations of the Wizard of Oz universe. And this movie just does such a great job of enshrining that lore and that love of the lore that I think a lot of people have. I know there's just a lot of people that are real big fans of the musical specifically, but I think a lot of really big fans of Oz and its lore and its world would really enjoy this too, just for the sake of what it is, as an encapsulation of the fandom, on top of just being a really solid film. And it just looks gorgeous. You said it best when you said, like, they know it's a movie, and like, hey, it's a movie, let's do some. There's this moment where they do a shot of the School of Oz, and they do this wide panning shot, and they show like everything, and it's just like, hey, look, this used to be a stage play, look what we can do. And it's just really cool. But it's not just showing off, it has a purpose. There's a great scene in this where like one of the characters is like singing and like belching out, and it shows a great sweeping shot, and it very reminiscent of The Sound of Music, when she's standing out in the field, and it just has this large sweeping where you get like the Alps and mountains in the background, and you get a feel for the world and the geography just from that one shot. They did this in a fantasy world, and it's beautiful and it's brilliant. Yeah. So just stuff like that, like just little things that just solid.
Another thing too is that they do utilize quite a bit of CGI, just because obviously we don't live in the magical land of Oz.
What?
I know. It's so disappointing. Every damn day, DJ, I wake up, I'm not in the Emerald City, and it pisses me off. But they actually use CGI very, very well. One of the things that has been really bad with Hollywood the last like 3 to 5 years is just awful CGI. Universal's put their money wisely into their CGI, so they don't use a lot of these. They use a
good mix of practical effects with it too.
Yeah, so when they do have CGI, they do it very, very well. It's really clear that they took their time and were like, hey, this film isn't a CGI fest, so let's take the time.
This reminds me a little bit more of like Jurassic Park, where they blended the CGI really well with practical effects to make it look more believable.
Yeah, like,
and it's impressive.
Yeah, like Jurassic Park or Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
Like,
where the uncanny valley is just like gone. There was not a single point in the film where uncanny valley came up. Like, it was so smoothly just polished throughout the film. I feel like that's where a good chunk of that money went. I'm starting to wonder if maybe it is just money that keeps CGI from like being really good, because holy crap, they spent a lot more on this film than it shows.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just spent it better. I don't know, but it looks good.
I think they probably spent it better, and they also gave them time. One of the big issues that...
Didn't rush them, yeah.
One of the issues that's come out is that there's not as many CGI studios as they really need. And so you get these studios like Barnstorm, the one that I know by name because of how awful their stuff was. But at the same time, like...
they had other stuff that was good.
They've had decent stuff. But the other thing is that, looking back on them, I give them a really hard time, but then I look back at their portfolio and I'm like, those are like 3, 4, 5 major film projects, and they're doing TV, and these are like, this is a little studio.
Yeah.
So it's like,
they're just getting overrun.
They're getting overrun. They just don't have enough time to really spend, enough effort on some of these things. CGI is an art, but unfortunately it's become so normal to use that it can very easily become uncanny and awful.
I think they start treating it more like a tool, which it is, but it's an art and a tool, and I think they're focusing more on the tool part than the art part. Yeah. And they're just get it done, and forgetting that there's an art to this. You have to like smooth things out. This film, oh boy, did it do it right.
Yeah. This film really is one of those things where, in a list of things that you do right, they kind of checked off every box.
The sound, too.
The sound, yeah.
In a musical, one of the things that will drive me crazy is if the sound is bad. the clarity. The end of this film, from like the last third, the clarity in the sound brings it to a level that don't think I've gotten in a film this year. Yep. Even Wonka, and that one does a really good job of it too. Yep. Doesn't quite do the clarity of sound that this does. Oh, it was good.
It is very well done. And the other thing is that one thing that they allowed is silence. So you'll have a big, huge scene, the song's really going, and then it just gets quiet and dead quiet. No sound,
no background music, not even instrumental, not even an orchestra, just silence.
It gets silent, and then it makes it just that much more impactful. This is just a very, very well put together movie. I kind of gave it, I joked that it came out in November. This really is like the biggest movie of the year. It is very surprising it's come out November, like when theaters are usually.
It might have been writer's strike, or that might even be why they were so either they were so sure it would do well, or because of like the writer's strike and stuff, they thought that this would be a good film. But man, it's filled up everywhere we looked. It's doing really well. I think it's got the highest audience scores I've ever seen. I haven't seen critic scores come in yet. Here's ours, but holy crap, man! Like it's good. Watch it in theaters. Watch it in theaters. Holy crap! I don't think unless you have like a theater level sound system, you will not get the hit of the music that you're gonna get in the songs that you will get from the theater.
Yeah, it's gorgeously shot. It's very crisp. The sound is amazing. So much of this movie is done very, very well. And the other thing, too, is that Universal really did do a gamble. This is the most expensive film Universal has ever made.
Don't make them regret it. They gave us what we wanted. Do not make them regret it. They will never make another film like this if we don't see it.
Well, and that's the thing, is it's just like, go watch
Encourage this behavior.
Yeah. Go watch it in theaters. It is worth a watch.
Yeah.
It is absolutely worth a watch.
Heck, see it twice. Jeez, I might actually go watch this. This is really good.
I might have to see it twice just because, like, it is. We had to wait until 9:40, and the thing is that the ironic thing is that the theater that we go to had to create more screenings of this movie. And so there are some movies that just lost screenings so that they could get a theater, so that people could go and watch it. But it deserves it. This is one of those films where it's like, it's huge budget, very expensive, but it deserves to be watched in theaters.
It paid off.
It pays off really well.
Yeah.
Universal has been doing a very, very good job with their theatrical releases. I have to put that out there. As much as Universal has given us grief in the past. Rest in peace, Curb Stomp.
Nobody can be the king forever, but man, I'll tell you, they've been knocking it apart. But this
Universal's making a comeback.
Did they do Wonka?
No, that was Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers did Wonka, but Universal has made probably some of the more fun movies this year. Like Abigail is Universal because it's daughter.
So was Lisa Frankenstein, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lisa Frankenstein was. Oh, what's that?
Universal? Yeah, I can't remember.
Or A24.
No, I thought it was one of the bigger. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It might have been A24. It sounds like something they do.
Yeah, but anyway, just we kind of trailed off just because it's late. There's really no need to go into spoilers with this. The book's been out forever. The musical, I haven't seen the musical.
It follows.
I knew it.
Yeah, it follows. Yeah, same. Like I've read the book, the original Wicked book, but I've not actually seen the musical. But I know all the songs and I know the plot and I know it. Still watching it was amazing. Like it was worth it. So yeah, just go.
Even if you're not a film nerd, or even if you're not a film nerd or a theater nerd.
I have one spoiler.
Go for it.
All right, so just one. Defying Gravity at the end of the film, the cinematography mixed with the characters, mixed with the song and the visuals and the sound of the music, there's a point where it gets up on a rise and it snaps, just like in the play. But my goodness, there's this moment of silence, and then she finishes right before the closing. Mm-hmm. Chef's kiss. That's all I wanted to put out there for spoilers. It is beautiful. Watch this film. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not gonna say anything else. Just go watch it, because honestly, I and no one of your critics, nobody else spoil this film. Nobody do it. Looking at you, IMDb and Wikipedia. Don't do it. Don't tell anybody. Don't give anybody anything. Make them go watch it.
You heard it here first.
Yes. Make them go watch it. All right, I'm done.
Speaking of things that are not done, this channel is not done yet.
Yet.
And we owe that to you, our faithful watchers.
Oh, 47 of you.
50.
50?
We made it. We made it to 50. This week we made it to 50. If you guys like this video, let us know by leaving us a like. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about Wicked Part 1? Or what other movies are you looking forward to as we're getting to the end of the year, so that we can prioritize watching it in theaters for you and getting you a review. Otherwise, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We're just very excited when we actually get subscribers.
It's fun.
It is fun. And we were trying to build a good community here, so be sure to invite your friends to enjoy it as well. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching.